Hi, everyone. I'm really happy that we have Lise Ritter as a guest here today. Lise is a naturotherapist and the owner of A Passion for Life, where she provides alternative therapies like aromatherapy, hot stone massage, Reiki, and reflexology. And Lise is particularly passionate about using food as a medicine, and she teaches women how to regain or maintain health and vitality through nutrition, lifestyle, and mindset. Welcome today, Lise.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
So, Lise, as, many of us get really overtired during the holidays. There's extra work and longer days. We may be partying or meeting with friends, going to bed later because we're reading longer. And uh, so, but then what I noticed, even though we are really tired, then we may have a hard time falling asleep. So, do you have some suggestions for us that can prevent us from tossing and turning or counting a sheep all night long?
Yes, I do. And I count a lot of sheep myself. So I've always struggled with sleep. So I use these techniques and many more, but I'll touch on just a few. The ones that I find are the most helpful for me. I have realized that, when I'm busy and I'm working on stuff, being an entrepreneur and self-employed, I find myself wanting to get work done after dinner. And especially now with it being really dark, I don't really know what time it is. So I can look at the clock and realize, oh my God, it's like 11 o'clock. I should have been in bed an hour ago. So I have gotten into the habit of setting my alarm for about an hour before I need to go to bed. And that gives me the time to, start to shut things down, whatever project I'm working on, shut it down. It's also when I start just doing all the little things that I need to do to be ready for tomorrow morning and to be ready for bedtime. So I find that really helps a lot. We set an alarm for the morning, but we don't think to set an alarm for nighttime. And that's really helped me a lot. We also have, a circadian rhythm. So when it's light outside, we wake up, and when it's dark, we go to sleep. And that is our circadian rhythm is really, really sensitive. So some of the things that we can do is start to turn the lights down after dinner. I know it's quite dark now, so we still want some lights, but we want low lights, not the really bright lights, because as long as we have bright lights, our brain isn't getting the signal that it's time to start getting ready for sleep. And as long as it's bright, our brain isn't going to produce melatonin, and we're not going to sleep when our head hits the pillow. And in that same line of thinking, a lot of us are watching TV, and we're on our phone and on our computer, and that can affect our circadian rhythms as well. So it's really important to start thinking about shutting all of that down before we go to bed, even an hour before we go to bed. So when we set that alarm to get ready for bed, that's maybe time to shut everything else down too, all of the devices and everything. And when I go to bed, I use my phone as my alarm, but I put it on airplane mode. And I turn off my Wi-Fi modem, because the EMF that goes through our house and all over the place will stop our brain from producing melatonin. There's lots of science and studies that show that it will keep us awake. And the nights I have forgotten to do that, I've noticed I really toss and turn a lot. So no bright screens. And I even bought these really cheap looking glasses. They're like blue glasses, so that if I am on the computer, on the screen, it minimizes that blue light that blocks the melatonin production. And I got those like really cheap. They're not pretty, but they do the job. So that's helped me a lot. And then the other thing that we tend to do, especially if we're up late, is that we're eating just before going to bed. And that's something we tend to do on holidays, especially, or weekends. I'm guilty of that on weekends. But eating before going to bed can keep us awake. And we are either digesting or we're sleeping. We can't do both. So So it's going to definitely interfere. And while you may be able to go to sleep, you may not be able to stay asleep. So those are 3 things that I do. There's also, other little tips like apple cider vinegar is really good to help us sleep. So you can have hot apple cider vinegar and some water, hot water with a little bit of honey. That helps. And you can use essential oils. And I put them behind my ears, behind my earlobe, where the vagus nerve is, and under my nose, so I can smell it. There's a homeopathic remedy that I use that helps to shut down my brain, because it doesn't shut down very easily, called Nux vomica, which I use. It's one little sugar pill, really, and it works really well to shut down my brain. So that's a few of the things that I use.
Great, and thank you, Lise, because I think those are all really easy and simple things that we can incorporate that doesn't need a lot of, changing of routines. And I think if we attach it to an existing routine, that's what I find when I want a new routine, I attach it to an old existing routine, then I remember the new one, and then it starts to be part of my new routine, and it works really well. I like the simplicity, just setting the alarm an hour earlier, and makes so much sense to do those things. So thanks so much. Those are really great suggestions. And I hope that you and me and everybody in the group is getting some more restful nights than before.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks, Lise.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Thanks.